Good morning, boys and girls, and happy Friday. Today is April 17th, 2020, and I want to thank you guys for joining me today. Before I get started with anything, boys and girls, I just want to review again the books that I am using right now. I am using this book, our Buyers and Sellers. This is our Unit 9 one. I am using this math book. And I believe this is the only math book that I sent home. This is your volume 2, right? I can't remember if I sent home volume 1, but I'm pretty sure it's just this one. If you have any other math books, they're probably from another grade that you might have at home. So this is our second grade math book, volume 2. And then I am also using, this is our social studies book right here. We did not send home a science book or anything like that. And then I've also asked you guys that if you have a composition book like this, you may use it. If you don't have something like this, you can just use some pieces of paper, all right? Another thing that I want to remind you guys about is, I know you're home. I know you get bored at times. I'm just gonna ask that you not work ahead in the books, like in the math book, in the reading book, only because I have specific activities for you to do, things that I want to show you guys, some writing activities. So don't work ahead in those books. Wait until you watch the YouTube videos and then do the assignments with us. Do them with me together, okay? So with that said, let's go ahead and get started. Let's begin with our ELA, Unit 9. And again, it's the Buyers and Sellers. And we'll go to page 10 to reread our story from yesterday that was titled Goat and Bear in Business. Right? And again, this is on page 10. And I have yesterday's date on there because that was when we read it, was yesterday. Right? But we're going to reread it again today for something that we're going to do in a little bit. So follow along with me, and I might be making some more notes, okay? And I also want to say thank you to those of you guys that sent me pictures of your work. I got pictures of your flow maps. Those looked good. I received pictures of your math homework. And then I also received pictures of your social studies homework. So thank you to those of you that took the time to send me those pictures. As I go along today, I will let you know what I want pictures of, okay? So let's get started. It says, Goat and Bear in Business. Goat and Bear were best friends. One day, the two decided to go into business so they could earn some money. Right? And we said yesterday that the word earn just means to make. So they wanted to earn some money. I'm going to sell my delicious baked potatoes, said Bear. I'll sell my delectable raisin buns, exclaimed Goat. Right? I'm sure we'll do very well, declared Bear. We'll be very successful, added Goat. So the two friends decided to go into business, right? I'm going to write that over here. The two friends decided to go into business. If you want to put this on pause while you write that, you may go ahead and do that. And then push play when you're ready to continue. All right, so Bear, he was going to sell his delicious baked potatoes. And Goat was going to sell his delectable raisin buns. That's what they were going to sell. Those were their goods that they were going to sell. Next page. Paragraph 6. The friends couldn't wait to get started. So the next morning, they went to the market to sell their goods. Remember, we talked about that yesterday. Their goods were the baked potatoes and the raisin buns. And we wrote that note over here. Their goods were the baked potatoes and the raisin buns. That's the stuff that they were selling. That is what we are calling their goods. After they set out their food, they waited for the customers to arrive. Before long, Goat was hungry. he had a nickel in his pocket. So he purchased one of Bear's potatoes. He had a nickel in his pocket. Do you guys remember what the value of a nickel is? The value of a nickel was 5 cents. There is 5 cents. So Goat was hungry, and he used his nickel to purchase a baked potato. There he is. There's Goat, and he goes to Bear's stand, and he's buying a baked potato. And there it says, Bear's Big Baked Potatoes. Turn the page. Paragraph 8. Soon, Bear was hungry too. So he took the nickel he had made and bought one of Goat's raisin buns. So he took the nickel he had made and bought one of Goat's raisin buns. So he already spent the money that he earned because he was hungry and he bought a raisin bun. Goat was delighted with his first sale. Now he had a nickel. To celebrate, he purchased another potato from Bear. Right here where it says now he had a nickel, where did he get that nickel from? That was the nickel that Bear gave him. So he used the nickel that Bear gave him to purchase another baked potato. By the time Goat had finished the potato, Bear was back to buy another raisin bun for a nickel. So what do we notice here, guys? They are using the same nickel. Okay? All afternoon, Goat and Bear went back and forth in the same way. By the end of the day, they were pleased to see that all their food was gone. However, when they counted their money, the two friends were puzzled. They didn't understand how they could sell everything and have only one nickel. So both guys, they were happy because they were able to sell all their food, but who bought all their food? They did. They bought each other's foods and they were going back and forth with the same nickel. That's exactly what we wrote here. If you didn't write it down yesterday, write it now. It says Bear and Goat bought each other's goods using the same nickel. And that's why they were so confused at the end. So I'm not sure how they did on their first business adventure. They look a little confused there. Go ahead and turn the page, boys and girls, because now we are going on to the next thing, which is on page 15, where it says build, reflect, and write. And it is over here, page 15. I have today's date. Build, reflect, and write. All right. We are going to work on this Venn diagram together, and I'm going to read it to you. It says, compare and contrast, right here. Compare and contrast. Remember, boys and girls, that when I compare, I tell how two things are the same. And when I contrast, I tell how two things are different. Okay? So you are going to compare and contrast fresh from the market and Goat and Bear in business. Identify how the goods being sold are similar and different. So we are going to look at the two stories that we read this week. We are looking at Fresh from the Market and Goat and Bear in Business. And then it says to identify how the goods being sold are similar and different. We're going to look at the goods that they sold. So just to kind of go back and review, if I go back to the story of Fresh from the Market, that one was right here, Fresh from the Market. Remember how we talked about how the farmers, once they have harvested all their fruits and vegetables, they take them to something called the farmers markets. And that is where they set up their stands, and that's where they can go and sell their goods. The stuff that they're selling, that's their goods. But they don't only sell fresh fruits and vegetables, they also sell handmade crafts. They can sell spices and fresh flowers, and they even sell baked goods. Here's another farmer's market, and it looks like here they might be selling maybe jewelry or something. And then here is another one where they're selling fruits and vegetables. Right? So this story, guys, was fresh from the market. I want you to think of the goods that were being sold here, the goods that they were selling in this story. And here's some more. And then here's the story that we read today, Goat and Bear in Business. And then think about the goods that they were selling here. Right? And that's what we're going to look at. We're going to compare them and contrast them. Okay, so I have my pen ready, and follow along with me. And again, remember, you can put this video on pause to if I'm going too fast. All right, so here is Fresh from the Market, and here is Goat and Bear in Business. And we're going to use this Venn diagram to compare. In here, we're going to write down the things that are the same. And then here, we're going to write down the things that are different, all right? So one thing that I know right now that was the same in both stories is that they were, in both stories, they were selling goods. They were selling goods, okay? They were selling them. Where were they selling them at? They were selling them at markets. All right. What do we know that's different about the goods that they were selling in the story Fresh from the Market? Right? Here, they were in Fresh from the Market, they were selling fresh fruits and vegetables. Fruits and fresh fruits and vegetables. What do we mean by fresh? I mean that they were just picked. They were just harvested. Like maybe the farmer who grows them, he probably picked them the night before and he's taking them out to sell. So in Fresh from the Market, the goods that they were selling were fresh fruits and vegetables. Over here in Goat and Bear and Business, what kind of goods were they selling? They were selling baked goods. Baked goods. Remember, Bear sold his baked potatoes, and we can even put that here. Baked potatoes. And what was Goat selling? Do you guys remember? He was selling raisin buns. Raisin buns. And then over here, the type of fresh fruits and vegetables that we see or that we saw in the story Fresh from the Market, we saw tomatoes, strawberries, so we saw tomatoes and strawberries. So those are just a couple of similarities and differences in both stories. All right. So before we go on to our writing, I want you guys to think about something, because in this unit, the essential question, and you can see it right here, I wrote it right here in red, this guy right here. The essential question, basically what we want you to think about is, how do the goods we make, buy, and sell connect us? Again, how do the goods we make, buy, and sell connect us? If you go to your book, boys and girls, and you go all the way, we're going to flip a couple of pages to the very beginning, right here, to page 2. I can see right here, it says essential question, And then it says, how do the goods we make, buy, and sell connect us? And I want you guys to think about this right here. You see this picture here? Looks like a farm, and there are fields. What do you guys think? What does it look like they're growing here? They're growing corn. Those are corn stalks, right? We do have these types of fields here in Kern County. Okay? And that's where we get our delicious corn, like the corn that the elote man sells. Okay? He gets that corn from somewhere because somebody grows it. He buys it from somewhere. Okay? And then here on the other page, you have this man. And what does it look like he's doing? It looks like he's harvesting the corn, or he's picking it. That means that the corn is ready to be picked. Okay? And he's harvesting it. Once he harvests it, boys and girls, that corn gets sent somewhere. One place that it might be sent to could be a farmer's market. Okay? And here the people are, and in this basket they have the corn, the ears of corn, and there's people buying it. So if I go back to that question again, I think of how are all of these goods, okay, because corn is a good, how do the goods that we make, that we buy and we sell, connect us? Okay? Nobody made this corn, they planted it. So somebody planted this corn, somebody harvested it or picked it, and then there's people buying it. So that's what it means by where it says make, buy, and sell. Oh, and then there's somebody selling it. How do those things connect us, guys, as people? That's what I want you guys to think about, because all of these things, they connect us. They connect people together. I can think of one way that they connect us, and I'll go here. When we go to farmers markets like this, especially if you have a farmers market like in your community, and if you go there all the time, okay, and you meet the farmer, let's say that, you know, this lady here, maybe she only likes to go to this farmer and buy his vegetables. That farmer is going to have a connection with that lady, and he's going to know already what she likes to buy. Okay, so he might have that stuff ready. Okay, so that they have a connection. That's how the goods connect them, because they have a relationship, because she might only buy from him. Okay, same thing with this lady, and the same thing with all those other people. They like to go to those farmers markets because maybe they like that farmer's the vegetables that he brings. So I want you guys to go back here, and we're going to do this section here. It says, reflect. How do the goods we make, buy, and sell connect us? Again, how do the goods that we make, that we buy, and that we sell, how do they connect us? Okay. Based on this week's texts, write new ideas and questions you have about the essential question. One idea that I might have, boys and girls, or that I have, is that the goods, they connect us. Okay? When I go and I buy stuff from a certain farmer, those goods, they connect us, because that farmer, he gets to know me. He knows what I like, and I always go and I buy from him. Okay? So that's one way that they connect us. Okay? I want you guys to think of, I know that this is kind of a difficult concept to think about, but just try to think of like when if you, in Delano, or I know I grew up in McFarland. In McFarland, we always had this panadero, this bread man. And whenever he would stop, he would go down the houses honking, and he would have this van, and he had the best bread. And he already knew which houses to stop at, and he already knew what kind of bread they were going to buy, because the people that would buy from him all the time. So they have a connection, boys and girls. He makes the bread, okay? People buy it, and he also sells it. So they have a connection because they're always buying from him. So he already knew who was going to buy from him. And then sometimes He would even have the bread ready already for them. And then they would go and they would just give him the money, and that was it. So that is one way that the goods connect us. Okay? It kind of helps us form a friendship with the people that we're buying from. Okay? Okay, so that's exactly what I'm going to say here. The goods that we buy from people can help us form friendships. Or a connection with them. Why? Because you're always buying from them. If you have another idea or another question, you may go ahead and write it here. All right? Let's go ahead and go on to writing, boys and girls. And this, what we've been talking about, is going to take us to our writing for this week. All right? And our writing, I'm using my little composition book here. And again, remember, if you don't have one, you can always use some paper. Okay? And this is again where I did my flow map, my science. Okay? Here it is. I want you guys to go ahead and write this down here. And there's the date. And for writing, boys and girls, we are going back to opinion. I want you guys to go ahead and write down writing and then write opinion. And I want to know this. Would you prefer to shop at a farmer's market or at a store? That's what I want to know. Would you prefer to go to a farmer's market where you can buy fresh fruits and vegetables, or at a store? Where would you rather go shopping? I want you to keep in mind what you learned about a farmer's market. Remember that at a farmer's market, you see a lot of fresh fruits and vegetables. You don't see meat. You don't see carne there. You don't see candy. You don't see chips. But the stuff that you're buying there is fresh. All right? It's the best types of fruits and vegetables that you want to eat, that you want to put inside your body. At a store, I can still buy fruits and vegetables, but they might not be that fresh. But at a store, I can also buy other stuff. I can buy meat. I can buy chips. Okay? So both places, boys and girls, are good places to shop at. But where would you rather go? I want to know, where would you rather shop? At a farmer's market or at a store? You may go ahead and go back to the story of Fresh from the Market to get some ideas. Okay? You can even ask your mom, like, hey mom, where would you rather shop? If there was a big farmer's market in Delano, where would you go? Ask her and see what she thinks. And then I want you to come up with your own opinion here. Okay? I'm going to start it for you. Okay? I am going to use my red pen here. And please remember, boys and girls, that you're writing an opinion. All right? You can begin by saying, in my opinion, or you can say, I prefer to shop at a, or you can say, I would rather shop at a. Okay? I'm going to begin mine by saying, I prefer shopping at a farmer's market. Period. Remember, first you just give me your opinion, and then you give me your reasons and your examples. Okay? I prefer shopping at a farmer's market. Okay? And then that's when you go into your reasons and your examples. Boys and girls, I just want you to give me one reason and one example. Okay? What I want you to do when you're done, later on, whenever you have time, take a picture of your paragraph and send it to me. You can text it to me or put it on Dojo for me, okay? Again, I just want one reason and one example. And again, you don't have to say I prefer. You can say, in my opinion, a farmer's market is better. Or you can say, in my opinion, a store is better. Or you can say, I would rather shop at a store. Or I would rather shop at a farmer's market. Just don't forget to give me your reason and your example, okay? If you want to put this on pause and do this now, you can, and then push play when you're ready to begin. Let's go on to our math, okay? In our math yesterday, and again, thank you to those of you that sent me the pictures of your math homework. I am going to go over the answers here, okay? Here is our homework, and yesterday we were analyzing picture graphs. So we were using these picture graphs that were already made for us to answer the questions. And this was on yesterday's homework, okay? This was the picture graph. It says favorite hamburger toppings, okay? We have ketchup, mustard, lettuce, and tomato. And number 1 says, how many people voted? If I go over here, and it says each picture equals 1 vote. So I can see here that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 votes. So that means that 8 people voted. 8. Number 2, which topping got the most votes? If I go back over here, I can see that ketchup got the most votes. So I wrote ketchup. Number 3, which 2 toppings got the least votes? The least. Okay. Go back over here and I can see that lettuce and tomato got the least. So I put lettuce and tomato. Number 4, how many people like ketchup or tomato? So I go to ketchup and tomato. I'm going to add them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Turn the page. Again, I'm using this picture graph. I'm analyzing it. I'm looking at it. And then I'm going to use it to answer the questions. I hope you guys were careful with this picture graph, guys, because when I was doing the answers, I got confused because I saw peanut butter and jelly, but then I didn't see this over here, that this is just peanut butter. Okay? Some people just like peanut butter sandwiches. Other people, like me, you guys know Mrs. Lopez loves peanut butter. But when I make a peanut butter sandwich, I also like to put jelly. Can I tell you guys a secret? Sometimes when I make peanut butter sandwiches, I don't put jelly. I like to mix my peanut butter with pancake syrup and then put it on a sandwich. It's very delicious, okay? So try it, okay? Here we go, let's go on. Number 5, it says, how many people voted for turkey or grilled cheese? So here is turkey and grilled cheese, and I have 5 people. Number 6, it says, Maria voted for peanut butter. She really wanted to vote for peanut butter and jelly. How would that change the picture graph? So she voted for peanut butter, but she really wanted to vote for peanut butter and jelly. So if she did that, boys and girls, this one would be gone and there would be one more here. So it would change the picture graph because peanut butter and jelly would have the most votes. That's how it would change the picture graph. All right, let's go ahead and go on to today's math lesson. There is a date. And today, boys and girls, you're just going to be doing this page, the check my progress page. We will do the first one together, and then you guys will do the back on your own, and then snap a picture of it and send it to me. All right, so let's go and look at the vocabulary check. Write down the word to complete each sentence. And here are the vocabulary words: picture graph, survey, and key. Number 1, in a blank, You collect data by asking people the same question. They're asking people. So we know from our very first lesson here that when I ask people, I am creating a survey, or I'm taking a survey. Okay. Number 2, a blank tells what or how many each symbol stands for. Remember the one here at the bottom of your graph that tells how many or what each symbol stands for? That is called the key. So here I'm going to write down key. And number 3, a blank has different pictures to show information collected. It has different pictures. If it's got pictures in it, it is a picture graph. Here we go. It says, ask 10 people their favorite color. 10 people. Their favorite color. Use tally marks to record the data. So we're going to record the data here. Boys and girls, some of you guys asked me in our Zoom meeting that for this stuff here, the graphs where you were doing tally marks, if you can ask your family, that's fine. You can ask your family, but remember, it's got to be 10. You can ask some people, and then you can make up the other tally marks, okay? If you want to ask your family, that's fine, or you can just do what I do here, put the same numbers that I do, or you can make up your own, okay? Because I know we're not in the classroom. We're supposed to ask like our classmates, but we're not there. So we just kind of have to work with that like that, okay? So I am going to make up the tally marks. But again, remember, you're only asking 10, okay? So let's pretend that we asked 10 people. Okay, and let me see. 2 people said blue. 1 person said pink. 5 people said green. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Let's see. 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8, and we needed 10. So 2 people said purple. There it is. Just make sure you have a total of 10. Let me double check that again. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay? If you want to use these tally marks, go ahead and use them. If not, if you want to make your own, that's fine too, but just make sure you have a total of 10. Okay? Now I'm going to put my totals here. 2, 1, 5, and 2. Now I'm going to use this information to answer my questions. Number 4, what color do people like the most? The most. So I'm looking for the one with the most tally marks, and that is green. Green. Number 5, how many people like pink and green? So I'm looking at pink and green. Let me go over here. Pink is 1 and green is 5, so that is a total of 6. 6 people. And number 6, what color do people like the least? The smallest amount of people. That is the color pink. Pink. Perfect. Now I want you guys to go ahead and turn the page. Put the video on pause, and then I want you to do this on your own. You are using this tally chart to make this picture graph. And then you're going to use the information to answer the questions. I will read the questions to you. Number 8, how many more votes did bike get than baseball? Okay. How many more did bike get than baseball? Okay. Number 9, how many people like jump ropes and rollerblades? Number 10, how many more people like to bike than jump rope? Again, how many more? So you have to do a number sentence here. Like to bike than jump rope. And number 11, how many people like to jump rope and play baseball? Once you're done with this, take a picture of it and please send it to me. All right. Number 4, let's go on to some social studies. Social studies, boys and girls, today is not going to be in the book. I want you to go ahead and take your little composition book here. Okay? If you don't have this, remember you can get a piece of paper. This was our opinion writing. I'm going to turn my page. I'm going to get a new page. Go and put the date. Okay? And social studies. This is what I want you to do for social studies. You don't have to write this down, boys and girls. These are just my directions. Again, don't write this down. These are just my directions. Just listen as I read. It says, draw a picture and write about your family. How many people are in your family? And what do you like to do as a family? All right? That's what I want you to do for social studies today, guys. Draw a picture and write about your family. I want you to tell me how many people are in your family and what do you guys like to do as a family? Maybe right now that we've been staying indoors a lot, maybe you guys like to have a movie night. Maybe you guys like to have a game night. Maybe you guys just like to go for a walk or maybe just sit outside in the porch. Tell me, or you can draw me a picture of what you and your family like to do. You can make this as big as you want. Make it as, I want to see a nice colorful picture of you and your family doing something together. And this is the one I really, really want you guys to send me this one, okay? Take a picture of it and send it to me on Dojo. Okay? And that's what you guys are doing for social studies today. Okay? And then for PE today, boys and girls, it is titled, How Fast Can You Go? I don't have anybody to demonstrate here for you guys. I really wish I did. Okay? But let me show you what you're going to do. It says, pick a distance and see how fast you can run the distance. Again, pick a distance and see how fast you can run the distance. I don't have anybody to show you guys how to do this, but I do have a good example because Joelle does this all the time. Even when we're inside. Like right now, it's raining here. It's sprinkling outside. So I probably wouldn't send her outside to do this, but she can definitely do it inside and again because she does this all the time. So what she does is she says, okay, Mom, and she starts right here in the kitchen, and that's where I'm standing. I'm right here in my kitchen, guys, look. In my kitchen. And she says, okay, Mom, time me. See how fast I can go around the kitchen and the living room, and when I come back to this spot, tell me how fast I did. So that's what you guys can do, okay? So I'm here in my kitchen, and then I say, go, and then she runs, and I'm running. She runs, boys and girls, around my living room, okay, and back this way. And then I say, stop, and then I'm counting the seconds. I know it's kind of funny, but that's exactly what she does. So I want you guys to try to do that. Pick an area where you can run around. Okay? Ask your parents first, like maybe around your kitchen or maybe to your room and back, and have somebody time you. And every time, try to do it faster. See if you can beat your time. And then the next time, try to go faster, but don't hurt yourself, okay? Try to go faster. So try that for some PE today, okay, guys? I will see you guys next week on Monday. Boys and girls, I'm not sure if you guys have heard the news, but our parade did get canceled for today. That makes me sad because I was hoping to see some of you guys. Hopefully they can reschedule it, okay? I'll see you guys next week. Bye.